One of the common questions I often get asked is, as an investor, should I just try to talk to the co-GP, or should I also try to get a meeting with the lead GP? With the assumption that the lead GP is the one that's managing the property. So they probably know more about this than the co-GP, which is basically my conduit. As an investor, should I do that or not? Most likely, you do not have to. You do not need to talk to the lead GP in order to invest. I like to be honest and blunt, so here's why. Imagine the syndication is a company. The lead GP is the CEO, and the co-GPs are directors of that company. The co-GP doesn't really want you to talk to the lead GP. Your co-GP is probably your co-worker, right? They're co-GP, co-worker, co-GP. That's funny. Co-GP is co-sponsor. They are doing a little bit of the asset management, but they are primarily helping raise some of the money. And the lead GP is the one that's underwriting, getting deals. What the co-GP should do is hype up their lead GP, which is like, this lead GP has a lot of background, a lot of skill set, they have impressive resume, blah, blah. That's true. They should do that. But co-GP usually wouldn't like, hey, go talk to them. They don't do that because co-GP might also ask you to invest in another deal that is a different lead GP. They want you to know that you're not investing not exactly because of the lead GP, but because that they are really good at spotting the right lead GP. They correctly assume that your trust is not because of the lead GP, that your trust is with them, and they have just more relationship. You have many years to build that relationship. So that's reason number one. Second reason you don't need to talk to the lead GP is that you get more face time with the co-GP. Co-GP will introduce you to more diversity, and that is someone you should hang on to. This co-GP is an invaluable conduit. In my opinion, it's more than sufficient that you trust the co-GP and do research on the lead GP. You use the transitivity of trust to say, do I trust this person? Do I think they have good judgment? And if this person also thinks that person is really good, then let me do some research on that person. And whatever I find could affirm my suspicion or deny it.
If AB belongs to R and BC belongs to R, then AC belongs to R. Very easy to observe.
I mentioned this multiple times in my previous videos. The beauty about real estate syndication is you can reduce a real estate investment problem into a problem on judgment of people. And that transitivity of trust is very important in this sense.
Trust is life.
Wow. It's very deep. Thank you, Benny.
This is why real estate syndication is like massively interesting. It's a people's business. There are personal dynamics at hand. The third reason is the lead GP is not fun to talk to anyway. Lead GP cares about underwriting, finding deals, getting under contract, getting the deal closed, talking to lenders, getting the financing done, operations, property management company. The fact that they need co-GPs is that they delegate the equity raising to these people. The people who are very good at operations, they have a different mindset than people who are very good at talking to people. In fact, some lead GPs don't actually like talking to people. Look at me, I actually don't like doing that. I just want to close the deal. So I have a lot of trust in the co-GPs I brought in. If a co-GP brought in, say, 20 investors, I need to talk to all 20 of them. I'm not gonna have this co-GP working with them again. You're not self-sustaining as your role as a director. If you are coming into a deal through a co-sponsor, I will probably be wary about talking to you and building a close relationship with you.
This is what I'm suggesting, that we eat and give ourselves permission to be quiet for the whole dinner.
It's not my place to steal my co-GP's LPs. You want to set that boundary. Like, this person belongs to the co-GP. I respect that. They also know that. You see, it's a very fine concept there. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't think you're gonna hear this kind of blunt talk anywhere on the internet. I hope that sheds a little bit light. Thanks again for watching. Happy investing.